Yay! Well, that was surprisingly disappointing.
Happy birthday.
Nothing even came out. Oh, let's hang on.
Oh, well. Well, actually, no, it's not really, is it with you?
I've got... Shut up. I've got 50 of them here. Hang on. Let's try this one.
Evening, all.
Hey!
Birthday wonderfulness. Oh, look, so, a few people missed me blowing out the NoFos branded candle. I'll do it again. There it is. Happy birthday. Happy birthday. Thanks, everyone.
Make a wish. I've got this disappointingly less noisy thing.
Oh, that's wonderful. Marvellous. It's a tactical party blower.
It is. It's super stealthy.
Super stealthy party blower. Perhaps you could get some bits of get Silly Gilly to put a bit of raffia around it, and you could just lay on your back and erect some foliage for cover.
Oh, I'll tell you what, you need a little mirror on the end, so it'd be like a little tactical mirror.
Yeah, just peeking around corners.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome to our birthday episode. Mike, you remind us of Madonna. I did just think that. As always, I might not wear this the whole time because it does look a little bit titty.
I see Madonna, and I also see Maleficent as well. I reckon you could pass for a good Panto Dame Maleficent.
Yes. Thank you very much. Well, I'm glad that this is going well so far. So thank you everyone for joining us. Hi, I'm going to go through the list quickly because everyone's jumped on almost straight away. So hi, Octo, Les, Nick, Damien, Danny, Sherwood, Fresh Meat, Paulus Wales. I'm still not getting that name right. Andy, Gareth, Paulus Wales back again. Rage, Harry, Andrew, Nick, Octo, Andrew, David, Paulus Wales, James, Harry, and Josie. Josie, by the way, Josie Fiend, she actually produced our logo. So a little bit of a shout out to her.
Thank you very much, Josie. Yes, much appreciated. Good stuff. I want to eat this cake now. It feels lovely.
Damsel in distress. Damien, more like a bellboy.
I love it. Yeah.
Oh,
I can't really get.
I was trying to find
the picture.
So genuinely,
they don't make the end of it, and the hat.
They don't make these in multicam. I was very disappointed about that.
Ooh.
Yours is quite fancy.
Mine's quite. It's got a bit of fluff on the end of it though, and my strings come off. But the hat's also got some fluff on it as well. There we go.
The things we go to make this episode relevant.
I mean, the money we pour into props for this episode is unbelievable.
Well, I've got another 48 of these party poppers, so who knows what's going to happen.
Can you whittle sort of 3 or 4 of them together and give us a big old boom at the end?
Oh, maybe. I've got to be careful because I've also got a sleeping baby next door.
A big extravaganza.
And for those that know me, I don't really cope well with things like towards my face, so I flinch quite a lot.
I've noticed that as well, actually, with your MilSim.
When I sit on a train, I can't sit near the window because if I see a tree coming, I'll flinch out of the way.
It's a bit odd.
Okay, so this is 3, yeah.
Go on then. That picture's definitely going to end up on the Mike Appreciation group. That image of your face, like, there's going to be all sorts of memes are going to come from that.
Oh, I've just covered the entire desk in stuff. Hang on. Right, cool. Have you got your birthday cake? I don't know if everyone in the chat's got a cake as well. Lance has gone traditional cake.
I've got traditional in the sense of it's Jamaican ginger cake. So
yes. Well, I've gone with a cinnamon MRE cinnamon bun.
There we go.
Which I'm actually quite pleased to inform. This is best before 2022, so it's actually in date.
Yeah, it's best before. Doesn't mean it's not good for after that.
No, I can't even open it.
You've got a good 20 years in that, mate.
Yeah. There we go. So
I don't know if it's bad luck to keep lighting the same birthday candle and blowing it back out.
I haven't got a candle.
Oh. See, I even rummaged through the kitchen drawer and found an orange one with black spots on it.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday. Yummy. I'll have a little bite of mine.
I'll save the rest of that for later because it's excellent podcasting to sit here and eat during the episode.
Wonderful. Have you got any party fizz? I've got some party fizz. I've got a Vive Orange Zero Sugar.
This is literally, people have joined us with the premise that we're going to be giving away some treats and stuff like that. And all we're sitting here doing is just discussing what we're eating and drinking.
There's old ginger cake. That's quite sticky.
I've got some lemonade. Anyway, happy birthday to us.
Happy birthday to us.
So for those that are joining us and are wondering what the hell is going on, November Foxtrot started a year ago. Our birthday is actually the 1st of October, but this was the closest episode that we could get to that.
Yep.
And yeah, so thank you ever so much for joining us. all those people that have supported us throughout the last year. It's been really helpful. It's been good. It's been fun. Good. For those regulars, we obviously, we utilize a lot of your questions to make the show what it is. So without you guys, it's probably not worth.
So please work on better questions.
Yeah.
Oh, it's frozen. Oh.
No, I'm back.
Didn't get the internet fixed for the party then.
No, I can't. I tried. I've mains wired it now, so it's actually connected into the router.
I was going to get the internet fixed, but I blew the budget on party hats. So I do apologize.
Oh, Sherwood said it should be a cake eating ASMR episode. I don't think anybody wants that.
No, nobody wants to see that. It's horrendous.
So, right, cool. Gareth said, "Sorry, I'm enjoying the comments. Like everyone's like really enthusiastic. I just covered my desk and stuff. I've heard that a lot before."
Yeah, funny enough, Gareth, he's wearing the same hats as well at that time. they're Mike's special alone hats.
This is actually brilliant camouflage, by the way, for when you go airsofting, because people look at you and feel sympathy and don't want to shoot you. Yeah. So, top tip for when you're in the field.
That's it, exactly that. Yeah, mine and Mike's 2022 urban loadout. Start off. Here it is. I think someone actually did mention. Oh, yeah, Gareth again in the comments there. Lance, that needs to be part of your next Civvy Pop loadout.
There you go then.
It will be, mate. It shall make an appearance. No worries.
And Paulus Wales, don't worry, I'll change my YouTube name by Dpol so it's easy to pronounce. Thanks, mate.
Yeah.
And Jade, yes, they are tactical party hats. So.
Absolutely, they are. Yeah.
Cool. Right. So we do have some prizes to give away this episode. We're being very generous, and we've also got some lovely friends out there who have donated some stuff for us to give away.
They have indeed.
Lance, I'll let you go through.
In no particular order, we're just going to show the prizes
first, and then we can explain how to win them.
Okay, right. Well, I've got a bit of spiel on my phone in front of me, just so I don't cock it up. But okay, right. So this is the nearest prize I've got to me, so I'm going to show that first. Now, this is the Conus Pro AS 34 2-6x28 tactical scope. Loads of bells and whistles on it. I'll give you a quick technical spiel, shall I? Waterproof, fog-proof, shock-proof, dry, nitrogen-filled, wide-angle, fast-focus ocular, fully multi-coated optics, engraved reticle in the second focal plane with red and green illumination. Locking tactical turrets, resettable to 0. Dual illuminator, which switch with 5 brightness settings, 34mm diamond tube, illuminated level bubble, precision 1-core MOA adjustments. So it's got tons of gear on it, and it's fast focus as well for quicker moving targets, which is sort of like we're sort of looking sort of DMR territory here, I think, with this one, chaps. Things like that. But I'll give you a quick sneak peek. Then this has kindly been donated to us from our friends over at Range Right, so we are very, very grateful for them. These are available. What you'd have to do if you are interested, if you don't win it, basically, but you are interested in one of these, if you contact Range Right Limited, go to their website, which is .co.uk, and they've got like an inquiry form you can fill in, and they will send you your nearest stockist of this particular scope. So they can let them know where you're from in the country, and they will put you in touch with the with your nearest stockist. So here it is. So that's the Conus tactical scope. It's got Picatinny rails on the left, right, and top, so you can add IR illuminators, torches, bits and bobs. It is a lovely bit of kit. I mean, it fills the bollocks. It really does. Obviously, lens cap protectors either end, and there she is. So
I'm slightly envious.
Very, very great. That is a lovely bit of kit, mate. It really is. You've got controls on the top there, so for your illumination settings, brightness to darker. You've got your focusing there on the sides. So there, yep. So that's one prize that we've that's been kindly donated to us. So we're very, very grateful for that. That is the what was that? It was the Conus
Harry
tactical.
Just said, have I joined an episode of Bullseye? Look at what you could have won. No, Harry, you can still win this.
Oh, look, you've won yourself a brand. It's a mustard coloured Vauxhall Nova.
All up for grabs. All up for grabs.
Look at this now. Right, so that's that there. You
might have to adjust your camera settings a little bit, Lance, because you are phasing in and out. You look like you're on a teleporter on Star Trek.
Oh, have I got a bit? Do I need to go a little bit brighter, perhaps?
Possibly.
Or, I don't know. I think it's because
don't worry about it for the moment. Keep going, and then
okay. So up next, we've got the Conus Small 2, and this is the 7x17 by 30 zoom monocular. Again, that's been donated to us by Range Right. Comes in a nice little tidy little carry pouch with a cloth and strap and bits and bobs like that. I don't want to get it all out because it's been obviously brand new, it's fully wrapped up. So, but this is a wicked little recce tool if you're laying up. So there's your little Conus monocular there, nice and small. You can actually mount that onto a tripod or a bipod or whatnot and leave it sort of in place so you can just get eyes on now and again. Obviously comes with lens covers and that for the protection. But yeah, lovely, great little bit of kit, nice and lightweight, very, very durable. So that's the number 2 prize. I'm not saying there's a first, second, and third prize. That's just 2 of 3, shall I say? We'll put that back in there. And last but not least is a Swiss Arms rifle scabbard or case, padded case. So you've got enough in there for. I think it's meant for the FAMAS sort of size. So you can easily do an M4 there or carbine M4. You can do MP5. It's got 2 wallets in there. And interesting with this one is that the actual outer pocket is also outer padded as well. Sometimes it's just the normal material. So you've actually got sort of dual pad in there. Yeah, anything. You could get another, like a very MP7 sort of size or a Scorpion, anything like that in there. So yeah, you've got a brand new Swiss Arms gun bag as well out for grabs. So that's the prize number 3. And I'm going to have to reach for prize number 4. Give me a second.
That's what I do. So Gareth says, but Lance, how can we win these amazing prizes? So there will be 4 questions that we will go.
I sat down, but I thought,
no, that's fine.
So this has been kindly donated.
He's just he can't actually hear me.
Here's the one and only fresh meat, brand new, and this is, I believe, I need to move over this way a little bit. A South African OD green assault vest, brand new, never been used. It comes with a multitude of pouches on it. You've got M4 mag pouches. You've got ball grenade pouches there. You've got a couple of utility pouches on the front. It's got a big pouch on the back for a camelback to go in. I believe a secondary pouch down the bottom. So you've got the 2 on the back, fully adjustable. Wicked bit of kit. I mean, the webbing and what's been used on it, material, it feels super strong. So yeah, we're very grateful to Fresh Meat, Mr. Rapson, Podge56 on Instagram, for donating this to us. So yeah, and that's prize number 4 of 4 for our birthday giveaway. So yeah, all up for grabs, ladies and gents. All up for grabs. Lovely.
So while you left the mic, obviously you couldn't hear what I was saying. Gareth said, but Lance, how can we win these amazing prizes? So there's Gareth, 4 questions that we're going to ask throughout the episode. So they generally run, the questions are generally based on previous episodes, and some of you may have to go back to kind of get the answers. So whether we thought this through or not, in that you may well just leave this episode and go and watch some previous stuff, might not be ideal, but we'll run with it. So throughout the episode, we're going to do some general questions to you guys, and then whoever gets the answer first types it in the chat, and they will win the prize.
Lovely.
Cool. Right. So this is obviously a Q&A. Let me just make us equal again, because I feel like you're a little weird sidekick otherwise. There we go.
Nothing wrong with that at all.
So the first question I've got, there's one that's come in.
Going straight into it. Wow, balls out.
Yeah, I thought we'll both straight into them. So the first question I've got is, how much is too much information for an event?
Oh, sorry. I thought you meant the first question that people have got to answer for the prize.
Oh no. I thought we'll get into the Q&A. Yeah.
Oh right, okay, yeah.
So yeah, how much is too much information for Q&A, a MilSim event? So I'm attending a number of events in the next few weeks, and I know that you've had some events recently, Lance, where we've had a bit of a chat sort of off camera, and it's sort of been like, it's cool, it's really good to get loads of info, but you feel like you're getting briefings maybe, I don't know, say once a week for an event that you're attending. Yeah. And then you've got 4 events booked. So you actually got 4 kind of posts, and then you're in groups and team chats and stuff like that. And it's an interesting one on how can you deal with that? Because I find that I can't keep up to date with all the information coming out. I don't know about you.
I'm exactly the same. I really struggle with sort of, you get a couple of events booked up, maybe they could be a month apart on that. But 9 times out of 10, you're going to be put into these sort of like Facebook teams. And then there might be a WhatsApp chat, and then there might be this, and there might be another platform to get to. Then you'll get emails of briefings and things like that. And what I find is that sometimes it just ends up becoming a sort of blur, especially if you're on if you do like a civic. I mean, if you've got individual teams, it's not as bad. But even then, I've done an event with Civi Pop, I've done a NATO event, a PMC event, and they've all been quite close together. And it's like the storylines are blurred across each other, and you sort of don't know whether you're sort of coming or going. And especially with some sites have got different rule sets and that. So, I mean, for me, I think it's great that companies dish out all this helpful like intel and that leading up to an event. But I found myself sometimes being a bit overwhelmed by it all, and thinking, I'm not going to read all this. There's no way I'm going to read all this. Not when I've got another 2 as well, and I need to understand all them. Do you know what I mean? Oh, what?
Yeah, sorry. Andy Bob has just sideswiped me completely. I've got to show you this. He's just sent a message in the chat and going, "Hey, Mike, just check the NoFo email quickly." And he's literally just sent this. Oh, you can't see it. Hang on. What have I done?
Who is that?
I don't know. But thanks, Andy.
I love that. Yeah. Excellent.
So yeah, sorry. I got completely sidetracked. So yeah, you're right. This is the thing. I mean, Octo joined us in the chat. Octo's brilliant for their storylines on events and things like that.
Yep.
And sometimes I just feel bad because I feel like I can't get as involved with it as I want to. There's obviously like there's the offline games and stuff like that. But there's one particular event that I'm attending in the near future that I'm finding it really tricky because it's just like there's just like updates, there's constant barrages of information, and it's not an Octo event. Just to clarify, I don't want to sound like I'm slating their events at all because I love your events.
No, I mean, and I'm not slating the other events that I've attended, but just I mean, for me personally, I'd sooner get a brief. If I could describe my ideal sort of info I'd like on an event is obviously confirmation of booking on, dates, times, etc. A little brief overview of the site, and then sort of like a little bit of backstory, a sort of brief description of what the event's about, reason for being there, blah, country or whatever it's going to be. And then what I personally, for me, is I'd sooner get a fuller briefing once I'm at the event from your main team leader of your Op 4 or your NATO or Blue 4 side, whatever it's going to be. Do you know what I mean? So I'd rather get sort of information once I'm on the ground. I can't stop looking at those 2 hats you've got on. Sorry.
Yeah, I'm going to take them off because people are now flooding my Facebook chat with pictures of me in these hats. So that's going to have to change.
Well, you're taking. Oh, you're going to leave one
no,
on.
I'm going to leave it on. I'm just going to go with the single one for the moment.
Oh no, that's much better. You've got a bit of jaunty angle as well. That's it. We exactly. do like a jaunty angle.
So yeah, but we'd be interested though if anyone else has got any thoughts on the whole amount of information that you get. Whack them in the chat because it'd be sort of cool to get like a bit of a consensus from you guys. And
yeah,
gals.
I mean, whether it's just me and I just can't process that amount of information in one go, I don't know. Maybe it is, but I'd sooner get like a brief, summary prior to the event, and not so much of like all the groups and different this, that, and the other, because it ends up getting lost in translation, and then there's only so many messages in one sort of forum you can read before you then have to do something else for a few hours. You come back and there's like 95 unread messages, and you're like, what? I've got other things to be doing. As much as I want to be involved with it, I can't physically dedicate time to just sitting there reading 3 different events, forums and pages. It's a nightmare. But so for me personally, I'd sooner have like a brief description, joining instructions, blah blah blah, and then get a full brief from your main team leader once your boots on the ground at the event, sort of thing. For me personally, that's what I prefer to have. But sometimes it's not feasible. But ideally, it'd help me out. Help me out loads.
I think the one I find the hardest is when you've got trickling information. So it's not even like you're having to take in. So for example, say like the Legion events and Octo events, they do a lot of the kind of the proper storyline. And there was an article today that was posted up on one of the upcoming Octo events. So I was really, I was just loving how like recently, I can't talk this evening. I clearly had my happy pills. It was relevant. That's what I'm trying to say to the whole fuel crisis. So it's all about like the North Dang, something like that, and how they're sort of affecting the fuel crisis. And that was quite nice to read because it was like a little storyline and stuff like that. I quite like things like that. But I find it really hard to keep track of when there's like the rule set is being issued bit by bit.
Yeah. And there's and sort of like last minute changes, and you've sort of managed to get the initial rule set nailed down, but then it's like, oh, we're going to do this, and it's just like, oh, fucking hell, what? So no, that changes to that, and it's it's a tough one
because that I think just confuses things. But
I think for me, it's less is more. I think from my point of view, that's what I want.
So there's a few comments in the chat. So James Leary says BrickTac events have an event pack which has all the info in, and then just a brief on the day. It's great.
Yep,
sounds
good
cool.
shout.
Octo 8, we engineer it so that different factions need to absorb different information. So, for example, NATO as SF have to do the most absorption. That's quite cool. We have to cater for those players that only play, say, our MilSim every 3 months rather than a different game every couple of weeks.
Yeah, that's a good shout.
Andy says, I think keeping the information as little as possible and keep it mission related, so you have to learn or gain the information.
Yeah.
And Joe Jupes come in with, why don't blind people skydive, scared the shit out of their dogs? Thanks, Joe.
Wah. Thanks, mate. Why people skydive, scared the shit?
Oh. Right, so the first question of the evening. Simple one. Who was our guest on episode 24?
Oh. Who was our guest on episode 24? Are we waiting? Or are we going to just keep
I was going to wait. I was going to be like, ooh. I know people are like hurriedly just going through like, oh no. Oh. This is again excellent podcasting as we sit here and wait for people to comment.
Come on, guys, don't let us down.
You can pick Lance.
Okay.
Mike from Legion, James McNeary. Mike from Legion. That is the correct answer.
Well done,
so James, you have won tonight's first prize.
You have won tonight's first
one.
Yeah, the first of the prizes we're giving away tonight, and you have won yourself, sir, a brand new rifle bag. You can get two or three in there. Congratulations to you, mate. So that'll be.
There you go, James.
Email us your address. Get in touch with the show, mate. Send us your email address.
You can contact us at email@nofochat@hotmail.com. Instagram is November_Foxtrot_NoFo. Facebook is November Foxtrot NoFo. And whilst you can send us a message on YouTube if you really want to, it's www.youtube.com/c/November Foxtrot. There we go. Thanks, James. Well done.
It's backpackable as well, mate. Shoulder strap as well. So you've got the best of both worlds there. And there she is. Swiss Arms rifle bag for you, sir. Well done. Wonderful.
Right. Now, I had a question come in from Mr. Les Plain. Oh,
yeah.
So I will read the whole thing out. It said, oi, mate, hope you were good. As you know, we were away this weekend at Apocalypse for the first time, and I used a hammock. Oh, my fucking God. Friday night, I didn't sleep. It was so uncomfortable. The Saturday wasn't too bad. What's that thing called? Wobbly or what? Whatever it's called. How can I make it more comfortable? Help me, Mike. Your eye only hope.
So, Obi-Wan.
Yeah. So, Lance, I mean, obviously, if you want to add some more context in the chat, but let's just very quickly break down hammock things again.
Well, I mean, I'm guessing from him saying that he was uncomfortable in a hammock. Now, the only time I've ever been uncomfortable in a hammock is when, obviously, the first time I done it, set it up too low, and my arse scraped the floor a little bit throughout the course of the night when my tensioning straps was obviously sort of tensed up, and the hammock slowly sunk. I'm trying to think now. The other option could be the trees too close together, so the hammock's more V'd, so he's actually sort of almost sitting up rather than being able to lay right back out. Yeah, that's a tough one. Why he would have been uncomfortable? That's the only reason I can think of, was that the hammock was sitting too low, or the trees that he had were too close together, and he was actually sinking into like a V rather than being able to lay out nice. I mean, when I set a hammock up, I make sure I can set it up almost horizontally at waist height. So I get my straps in it around the tree, sort of like an 8-inch diameter tree at a minimum, just for the strength of the tree, basically. Get that set up both ends. I have my foot end of the hammock sitting slightly higher than my head end, so that when I'm asleep, I'm not actually going to overnight sort of slide down the hammock and end up like feet right up in the air. So I have my feet sitting up slightly higher just to keep that sort of tension there with my body when I'm laying out flat. And like I said, set it up so it's when the hammock's sitting there freely hanging. Once you set it up, make sure it's just sitting at waist height, like the middle of the hammock's waist height. And then when you sit on it, it'll actually pull the straps in taut, because obviously you're adding your weight to the hammock. And then you should be golden then. You should be able to sit in it sideways, almost like an armchair. Be able to put your boots on, nice and comfortable, and then sit your ass down into it, swing round, legs in. You shouldn't have any problems whatsoever. I mean, I wouldn't say I had an uncomfortable sleep in a hammock before. It was just adjusting. It was a case of just adjusting it until I found, watched a couple of videos, watched a couple of guys who like bushcrafters and wild campers doing things and how they set them up, and sort of gone down that route, and I thought, yeah, that works really, really well. You know, I'm super comfy now. So that's the only thing I can think of is either too low, or he's actually either had it set up too loose and it's sunk in a V, or the trees have been too close together. Do you know what I mean? So you need to have it sort of a good bit. So I'm not sure what the minimum spacing for the trees that need to be apart. I mean, I'm going to say it's going to be at least sort of 2.5, 3 meters. I'm going to say 3 meters. I'd say at a minimum, the trees need to be spaced apart for you to put it up properly. But yeah. And like Andrew just said, lying diagonally across it as well. You can actually lay flat then if you go diagonal across it, and you can lay on your side, which is always a bonus. But yeah, I've never had an uncomfortable night's sleep.
The first time I slept in a hammock, so I did the diagonal trick, but then just in the night, clearly just naturally moved around or whatever, and ended up basically so that my body was like that shape. So my bum was really low, and my legs were just permanently locked straight. So I woke up in the morning and I couldn't actually move my knees because my knees had just spent the entire night almost overstretching, which was actually, no, it was genuinely really painful. Oh,
there it is. Internet at its best.
A little bit of a tip for that is put like a jumper or something under your knees just in case. I mean, you know, diagonally is better, but if you do want to sleep at a bit of an angle, try and keep your legs a little bit bent, just because it stops that overstretching and overlocking. It's quite a little tip that I learned fairly early on.
Yeah. Also, making sure that the material of the hammock is pulled out around you as well, so you're not laying on a piece of hammock which is essentially that wide on your back, like with the fear of God in your eyes, going, if I move, I'm going to roll out. Make sure you know, sit up, pull it out to the side. You should get when you're laying in your hammock, you should have about that much hammock wall going up the sides of you. You can that's sort of like a bit slack. You can pull down, have a little look out, and that's where it should be sitting. It shouldn't be scrunched around you. It should be nice and big. I mean, go get a 2-man hammock. That's a bit of advice I can give you. Is get a 2-man because you've got room for days in there. Then that's what mine is. It's a 2-man hammock, and I think is it 350 kilos or 270 kilos? The load it can take.
They're rated a lot higher.
It's crazy weight you can put in.
More
thank
people.
God.
So, yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So, but yeah, that's
Rage says, sorry, the obvious reasons for an uncomfortable hammock is the straps are too tight or too loose.
Yeah, exactly, mate. Yeah.
So that's a good point. I mean, there is another aspect to this as well, which is temperature. So Andy Luckett has jumped in and said, what's better for winter, a hammock or a tent? Now, with a hammock, you don't have any insulation properties from the ground. So obviously when you're laying on the ground, whilst you're on a roll mat or something like that, you've at least got something underneath you. When you're in a hammock, you've basically got free airflow just running underneath you, and it just really loses temperature really quickly.
Yeah, it's the wind chill factor, isn't it?
Yes, I mean, what you can do is either get a woobie or an underquilt. So this is the One Tigris hammock underquilt. Just to give you an idea of size, that's compared against my head.
Mike's head is enormous.
I've got a big head or a little head. But these are rated from 5 to 20 degrees C. So this just adds an extra little bit of, basically just adds an extra bit of insulation under the hammock, which means that you've got that extra little bit of protection from the cold. It provides, it's meant to be like, it's not meant to be tight against it. You shouldn't necessarily be sitting in the hammock and it's really all taut and everything like that.
No,
otherwise it's almost the same as a sleeping bag. That being said, mine does because I'm a larger lad. But I don't have any problems with it. So I find with the underquilt, maybe a jungle blanket or a woobie or something like that as well, sort of wrapped in with you in the sleeping bag. You know, you can quite comfortably get down to colder temperatures. But that being said, I would probably go with a tent in the winter. Just because it gives you that little bit more, or a basher or something like that. But
I've not tried
close to the ground.
I've not tried hammock camping in the winter. I've got to be honest. I've tried it when it started to drop off. Don't get me wrong, and it's been okay. But you certainly felt it with the wind chill, like you said, with the wind chill. And I didn't have a under wrap or an under blanket or anything like that. And purely for that reason, I've always sort of my mantra's always been hammock when you can in the summertime. Hammock, jungle blanket, nice and cool. Like you said, you get the breeze underneath you. It's perfect if it's a really hot, humid nights or whatever it is, and you're on an event for a couple of days or whatever. They're great. You know, they're perfect. They're a chair. They're a bed. Very versatile. You know, you're up off the ground, lovely. But then when the winter time hits, I always find myself warmer and more comfortable on the ground. Like Mike said, simple basher setup, self-inflating mat, a mylar roll mat to reflect the heat back up at me. My free season with my liner inside it and my bivy bag. over the top. And like I said, we did Octo, and when was the Octo one, Mike? When it was cold? Was it March?
Something like that, yeah.
Was it March this year? We done that. It was -5, -6 overnight, and I had t-shirt,
little heater.
Yeah, but that didn't work. And I was really gutted about that. So because the first time I was using that new sleeping bag, and I was like, well, I'm going to bring this just in case, because if it does drop and I'm sort of there just in my under my basher, I'm going to need something, because I can't, sleep in the car all night. It's ridiculous. So, plus it was like a little Astra, so I would never have got in there. It'd been horrible. So I brought the heater along. It was so cold that the heater, the gas cylinder, wouldn't actually warm up enough for it to work. So that was out the window. But luckily enough, pants, t-shirt, inside my free seat with me Base Camp Extreme by Snug Pack, and also had the Snug Pack jungle blanket in there as a jungle bag, as a liner for the sleeping bag. I was toasty, mate. I was proper toasty. Obviously getting the strides and that off there, I was quite cold to start with. Snuggled down into the bag, zipped it all up. I thought, this is good. I like this. And I was within about 2 or 3 minutes, I thought, just feel the bag heating up from your body heat. Perfectly comfortable. So I've always done that. I've always been like, as soon as the winter hits, drop onto the floor. When it's spring and the summer, back up in the hammock. And that's sort of what I've always done, really. So, but I've got an underquilt for my hammock, so I am tempted to try a little overnighter. Perhaps not at an event, but, just a sort of 24 hours over the local woods and give it a go.
Have a tent as a backup.
Bit of a wild camp, Well, I'll have the truck parked up on standby. Heater's ready. But I do want to give it a go just to see as another option, then, isn't it? So
yeah.
But I mean, for me, winter camping, it'd be on the floor, and in summer, spring and summer, usually try and use a hammock if you can. There might not be trees or anything available for you to do it, so you'll be in a tent, depending on what the event you're going to, really.
I mean, the thing I find as well, it depends on where you're going. So the Octo one we were at, we were actually camping in a grass field. So in terms of underfoot, it's pretty soft already. One of the reasons I kind of switched to hammock camping as being like the main primary for summer months was merely just the fact I was fed up with trying to set up a tent on rocky ground. You spend absolutely ages trying to get rid of all like chestnut husks and like sticks and leaves and thorns and all of that. Whereas the hammock, you literally bosh straight up, bash over the top, job done.
Yeah, it is good. It's good and it's quick, and for the size of it as well. It's a time. I mean, when you use a hammock, that takes away roll mats. It takes away this, especially in the summer months. I mean, you literally you could get away with a jungle bag, your hammock, your basher, and your pegs, and obviously your jungle knots or your guy lines or whatnot, and that's it. You could get that into half a rocket pouch. What I've just said then. Do you know what I mean? It's such a small little bit of kit. But then obviously as you start progressing into like the poorer months, the weather's getting more foul. You're going to start adding under wraps to your hammock. You're going to start adding a bigger sleeping bag, potentially a bivvy bag to go over the top, just to keep that little bit of moisture in the air off of your bag, because you're not sort of contained within a tent sort of thing. And it all starts adding then, and by the end of it, for still sleeping in the hammock, you've got a sort of tent-sized amount of kit there, which you could have just sort of quickly set a tent up and sort of ducked under it, or a basher with your poles and bits and bobs. So
yeah. So Harry just quickly said, if your party hat's the same size, Mike's head is enormous, implying that the jungle blanket or the
yeah, it is. Yeah, but these come in a set. So Mike's head is fucking huge, Harry.
Oh no, this isn't that big, to be fair. I don't have the dimensions. I can find them. I can whack this on the Facebook page as a link. So Andy Luckett says, I have a -20 snug pack. Would I still need something? So the thing to bear in mind with the sleeping bag is obviously
he's finished that off at the bottom there. Would I still need something under me in the winter months in a hammock?
Oh, sorry. Good shout. Where you're compressing the sleeping bag underneath you, you're actually squashing a lot of the fibers. So you're not getting as much insulation on your base. Now, you don't necessarily need to have an underquilt. You can get away with just another protective layer, potentially. So, I mean, I think John Smith has said, would not a windproof wrap help, as it would stop the cold and then keep some of the heat in? Yeah. It would. Anything that you're going to add is going to benefit to that. The other thing you can do is add like a floating mat between your sleeping bag and the base of the hammock. So set your hammock up, put your inflatable mat in there, and then sleep on top of that. That again is going to provide that little bit of separation. And yeah, so pretty much, as long as you've got something there just to try and break that up. But as Lance said, it just depends on the temperature you're going to be in. You've got to bear in mind that you are above the ground. It's the equivalent of, I don't know if anyone's ever been in like a cabin that's like a raised floor. they get so much more colder than like houses that are sitting more on the floor. If that makes sense.
Exactly that. No, it makes sense.
It's
mate.
just that wind through underneath. So
definitely.
Kieran Thompson says, "Little does everyone know Mike's wearing a traffic cone he sprayed silver." I don't have a big head. I do have a big head, but it's not that big.
Yeah, it's actually the top of an host house Mike's got on there.
Oh, I'm so glad that came up. So, but yeah, so I mean, in terms of hammock camping, it's just something to bear in mind. I would always try and test your kit when you can, when you're not relying on it. So when you pay to go to an event, you're there, you want to have a good time, you've got your kit, you want to be able to rely on it, and and you're comfortable with it, because you don't want to wake up in the middle of the night freaking miserable because you're cold and wet or anything like that.
This is exactly, I mean, especially if it's your first time you're going to be using that bit of kit. I mean, I'd try and get out for 24 hours, even if it's just, even if it's a tent in the back garden, just to try it out, just to make sure you're comfortable with it. And not only that, making sure all the parts are there. There'd be nothing worse than getting to an event, unpacking something and thinking, that's missing, or that's broken, or that didn't even come with it. And then you're sort of scuppered then. So if you can get out, get your kit out, get it dirty, have a look at it. You know what I mean? Pull it apart, make sure you're comfortable with putting it up, packing it away. Any bits, any mods you want to make, any of the guidelines you want to change, whatever it is you're doing, just make sure you're comfortable with it. So you're going to the event with a bit more confidence in you, either in your shelter system or your sleep system, to say, yep, I've checked that, I'm happy with that, that's all done. I've not got to worry about that now, because I've tried it, very comfortable with it. And Lisa as well, before the event, if you're not happy with it, you can get it changed out. You can possibly contact the company. If you're not happy with it, you get your returns policies and all that. Send it back, try something else. Make sure you're comfortable with your kit before you take it out for a proper event, sort of thing. Because it'll spoil it for you. Because you'll never get soaking wet, freezing cold. You'll think, fuck this, I'm going home. Well enough.
Yeah.
And it won't be the event that spoil it. It'll be the weather that spoil it, and you yourself for a little bit, because you've not tried it beforehand. So shame on you. Ooh, yeah.
But that being said, we're all guilty of it. We've all tried new
definitely.
kit at events, but I wouldn't ever mess about with stuff that they're going to be relying on, because your sleep system, your shelter system, all of that, you can kind of get away with trying new cook stuff, new airsoft guns and bits and pieces like that, and comms, it's not really vital, if you see what I mean. But ultimately, you want to get a good night's sleep, because you are just going to be frigging miserable otherwise. So
exactly that, mate. Exactly that. Yeah, definitely.
So, Paulus Wales has said, nah, he's got a tiny head, and that's the nozzle of an icing bag.
Oh dear.
Yeah. So this week's episode is just a mixture of some helpful advice as much as we can, and abusing me.
Abusing Mike with his cone head. Nice. And on that bombshell, I think it's time for another question.
I was just going to say, would you like to have a go, Lance? Do you want to tease our audience?
Tease your audience with a question. Okay then. Yeah, right. Okay. So, this will be. I think this one's going to be quite a quick turnaround on this one.
Hopefully.
All right.
Can I just before you launch into it as well? Sorry, just very quickly. There is a slight lag between us actually talking and then receiving stuff online. So I do have a little tracker on the right that shows me the comments coming in. So please don't think a little tracker. So that's what we're working off of, like when it comes in on the tracker. Just so everyone knows, just so you don't think you've commented and then we're just sitting here talking for no reason. So
which we are. But there we go. Yeah. Right. Okay. So question is, what are we laughing at?
Paulus Wales, just give him a squeeze to get a smooth bead of butter icing.
Might take a bit more than a squeeze. Anyhow, my question, this is your fault. You're interrupting me. Right, okay. Question is, what was Paul, a.k.a. the Chief's, epic camo in episode 8? What was Paul, a.k.a. the Chief's, epic camo in episode 8?
Also, please throw some questions in, because it's always nice when we can have some random topics to discuss.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And topics.
Yeah.
Can I answer twice? No, James, you cannot. Shall we recall Fox? Picture. Who was it? Harry.
I think so. On mine, that's Harry Badger photo. I'm gonna go with photo. So yeah.
Are you gonna give him
a photo of his room?
It was a photo. Yeah. I mean, yeah. Okay. All right. I did see. Obviously, the boys underneath had put the room as a
Yeah, but he put photo. I'm gonna let that go.
All right.
It's generous. It's our birthday.
Oh, it's such a soft touch, Mike. I do apologise, Fresh Meat and Sherwood Rico and Fox for that. Oh, off bedroom. There we go. He managed to squeeze off bedroom. There we go. Fair enough. Okay, right. What I'm going to do then is I'm going to go. I'm going to reach down here, Mr. Harry Badger. You have won yourself the, I believe it's South African Army OD Green assault rig. There we go, sir. So send me details to us, and we will get that in the post to you, mate, as soon as we possibly can. Like I said, yeah, utility pouches either side, camel back on the back with another utility pouch at the bottom. You've got mag pouches galore. You've got 2 ball grenade pouches on the side, and obviously you've got another 2 utility. Oh, bloody here, bug keeps coming out. Another 2 utility pouches on the front. So yeah, that will be on its way to you, sir. Woohoo!
Just to clarify, so if Harry hadn't have won it, the next person to have won it would have been Fresh Meat, and he was the one that donated that vest. So,
oh, there we go then. So that was a spot of luck. I didn't even think about that.
Yeah.
That would have been hilarious, actually, because I would have given it back to him as well. There you go, Wayne. You've won this.
Well done. Right, there was a question from Sherwood, I believe. I'm just scrolling back to find it. Are there any future plans? Any future plans on future Rift purchases?
Ooh.
How about you, Lance?
This is going to be controversial, but you know what? I'm actually quite comfortable at the moment. Quite happy with what I've got. I know.
How can you?
Oh,
say
actually, no. That's no.
You're an airsofter.
No,
it's in your blood. You have to buy more.
As I said that, there was a voice in the back of my mind going, "What about the AK-47?" And I was just I was still saying it. I was like, "Well, oh yeah. There is actually. Yeah, I'd like an AK-47." So yes, that one of them intrigues me quite a lot. Do you know what I mean? I've got the 249. I've got my DMR. I've got my M4. I've got my MP5. I've got my M14. I'd like an AK. I want to get some Soviet block action going on, baby.
I must profess, I am a bit of the same on that one.
That's where it's at.
Yeah, it's just that kind of classic look, isn't it?
But the thing is, I can't decide on whether I want a solid stock or a foldy stock. And I don't know if I want a full barrel or like a bit more sort of carbine-y AK.
Yeah.
Or would that be Kabanowski? I don't know how.
Kabanowski.
No, you sound like Italian then.
I can't do accents.
Well, you sound like an Italian Dracula.
Well, maybe certain parts of the AK are made by Italians. Who knows? Well, I guess quite a lot of people probably know.
Italians from Transylvania. Kabanowski.
Yeah.
Blah 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 blah.
Just generic Eastern European.
There we go. Yeah.
I mean, I guess with the fixed stock, you've probably got more battery compartment.
Yeah, that's a win, isn't it? Really, because let's be honest, it is even the MP5 is a ball ache to get a battery in underneath the front grip. You know, it's relatively easy once you've done it a few times, but it's just like, oh, really?
Yeah.
Solid classic AK for the win. Yes, mate. Even in Sean, hello, mate. Oh, Phil from Down Under. Is that Phil? Morning, lads. Got to be.
Hi, Phil.
Welcome along, buddy.
Good morning.
Good morning. Yeah, morning. Did you sleep well?
Sherwood Recon Fox, tactical or traditional AK?
Ooh, I don't know. I'm going to go with. I think I'd probably go with traditional. I don't think I want too much on it. I think I'm talking and traditional in the sense as just having the iron sights as well.
Well, you can always add.
I love that. You literally just shut your eyes in appreciation, and you're like,
Actually, I didn't. I'm smiling. I've just got really tiny eyes. It's because my massive head.
It's because my massive
normal sized eyes, massive head,
and my tiny icing bag hat. Yeah.
Yeah. Octoate says everyone should own an AK as a foil to Western weapons. Oh, I can't talk. Everybody should own an AK as a foil to Western weapons.
Absolutely, yeah. It will be done. It will be done.
Harry Badger says highly recommends the TMAK NG Storm, a cheeky breaky action.
Ooh, sounds good. Yeah, I might have to have a look. Gonna have to have a look.
Holding stock all the way from Gareth.
Yeah, okay.
James says have a look at the East German AK stock. I'm jealous now. Everyone's got an AK except for
Everyone's got AKs apart from us. We're rubbish, aren't we? Really, when you think
about it. Patrick Fox Squad. Hi chaps, good to see you. Do you want to swap a can of petrol for my 4-bed home in the Cotswolds?
Yeah, okay. I
Yeah.
reckon I could swing that.
Oh, blimey.
That's chaos at the minute, isn't it? On a side note,
it's mental, isn't it? It's
I mean, it's
absolutely
still
mad.
out. I mean, I'm not too far away from a petrol station where I live, and it's just gridlocked everywhere. And it just...
I particularly enjoy. You can see who has petrol based on Google Maps because that's where all the traffic is. So, top tip for you.
Fair play.
So I would quite like an AK, but to be honest with you, I'm not really looking to buy anything new at the moment. I do quite like the idea of a tag launcher, I must profess, but that's quite an elaborate extra cost. And I am sort of saving for night vision or thermal at the moment, so that's kind of where I'm going with that. But that being said, I've got my S&T M249 that needs a little bit of work doing on its internals. Took it out to... Oh, where were we last? Can't remember. Where did I go last?
I went to the territory event, which is at the Bravo site. You weren't there.
Oh, NAE.
You were at NAE. I wasn't there.
Yeah, I took it to NAE with me. So yeah, that was good. It worked well.
Did you run the 249 then?
I did run it, but it doesn't have a great deal of range at the moment. So I need to do something a little bit fancy with the internals.
Barrel and a hot rubber, mate. You'll be all right.
Yeah, get someone to look at it. So that's my plan.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Very nice.
It says I'm working at midnight filling up ambulances.
Oh, bloody hell. Good on you, mate.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah.
There it goes again.
AI 500. No, that's so the AI 500 event is next week for me. Next week? No, this week. Blimey, it's actually this weekend. I really need to pack.
Well, yeah. The next question is, Mike, are you prepared for AI 500?
No. Quite categorically, no. I'm looking forward to it, though. So for those that don't know what the AI 500 event is, AI 500 is it's not really a little company. It's the Airsoft International magazine, I believe. So they run an event fairly regularly, and they're kind of, I would say their USP is that they find venues that you otherwise wouldn't get to play in. So with them, I've played at a abandoned theme park in Grimsby. That was an interesting experience, just going to Grimsby. Apologies to anyone that lives in Grimsby, but it does live up to its name.
Hang on, Nick's in the chat. He's got a few things to say about Grimsby. I remember from the episode when we spoke about it last. He sort of jumped on his bandwagon and he said, "Hang on, I know some stuff about Grimsby." Yeah, shit.
So yeah, on our way into Grimsby, we literally saw two people having a fight. It's like welcome to Grimsby, and there's literally two people having a fight.
So getting their head caved in against the sign of Grimsby.
So, but yeah, the one this year is based in Dover, and I think it's like an old prison or like detention centre or something like that, which should be quite cool. So looking forward to that. Yeah,
very nice too. Cool. I've got Legion coming up.
Yes, we do, don't we? I'm going to that as well.
Oh yeah, you are. Rah-rah. Yeah,
I bought your ticket.
You bought my ticket. Yeah, is it the 9th or the 10th?
It is the 9th.
That was funny in the chat, in our team chat.
So
Mike's gone, I wish I hadn't written anything now.
Here's a question. For people that run in teams, how do you guys organise your teams? Because
any advice would be really helpful.
Yeah, because I'm finding that sometimes organising an event with our team is like herding cats. In that, and it's not for lack of trying, but it seems like you kind of go, right, here's the information. And then because people are looking at the chat group at different times of the day and stuff like that, it's like the question gets answered and then we kind of drop. Other messages, how's your day, blah, blah. What's the plan for this weekend? You're like, I went through that. Like,
yeah, then it was, and then it'd be like a few more general questions. Someone will put a picture of a donkey with an ard on, and then it'll be a couple more questions.
What's the plan for this weekend?
What's the plan for this weekend, chaps?
What date is it? 9th of the 10th. It's the 9th.
Who am I?
Yeah. David's solution, by the way, is that Mike sorts it all out. Thanks.
There we go.
Thank you very
Just
much.
leave it to Brown Owl. She'll sort it. Our Kayla here. Look out for Arcana and the silver pointy out. She'll come and help you.
Yeah. So Patrick Foxtrot, AI 500, it was actually in Cleethorpes, which is the posh part. I went to both their events there. Yeah. Nice.
Less barbed wire in Cleethorpes, I'm guessing.
Les says we put it out in the group chat and we all jump on it. See, that's what we do. And then it just seems that because conversations kind of span a few days, different people are looking at it at different times. So
yeah. And then every now and again, Johnny 600 will throw a complete curveball in there, and you'll be like, "What? That's got no bearing on anything we've been talking about for the last 2 weeks. Where did that come from?"
Oh,
so I just need to take a minute here.
Yeah, I'd say the interesting thing from a team management point of view, I would say. I mean, I'm not the team leader. That's obviously this boy over here. Yes.
Do you like that?
It was good. It was good. But the one that I find the most interesting is trying to buy tickets for the event as a group. Because if you're in charge of buying the tickets, whatever, it's easy enough to kind of get all the money together and then deal with it that way. But it's almost like sometimes the events aren't really geared up for group team bookings like that. Because you book like 6 people on, so go right, who's in, 6 names, get the money, cool, book the numbers, and then you get like a couple of people go, oh, I would like to go. Like, okay, cool, right, and then you're like trying to talk to them like, oh, can we book some extra people in, and that makes it difficult. So. It's an interesting one. There's a whole different dynamic when you're actually got a big team of people that you're trying to manage. It's quite tricky. So.
Yeah, and obviously you're desperate just to get everyone to the same event and all be together because you have a great crack and a good laugh. Do you know what I mean? So it's like when it's like when like 1 or 2, and it happens all the time. I can't make that weekend, or I can do this one. But sometimes it's rare that we all get together. But when we do get together, it's such a great time in that, and it's always disappointing if like, a couple of guys can't make it for whatever reason, which is totally fine. But you always a little bit of gutted they can't come. Do you know what I mean? It's always like bit of a bottom lip shows you a little bit, and then you'll sort of like get there, and you're like, that's all right, actually.
That's the thing. We're a team for a reason. We like hanging out together. It's good. It's just tricky to try and do that. James says a Facebook group is the best way I've found to make an event with all the info on and link to the tickets. That's not a bad shout.
Yeah. I'll get Mike on that after this.
Yeah. I struggle to get people to agree on game dates. Yeah, that's another one. When we're going, 9 or 10.
Oh, that was hilarious. Is it the night that Johnny chops in? What time on the 15th are we going? Shut up, John. Shut up. What are we going on the 15th, you donk?
Yeah, but it's the fact that you were like at 9 o'clock and you answered him with an actual answer.
Yeah. Yeah, but I saw your comment of like, I could tell the way you'd written the message, you were getting frustrated, and I thought, I'm just going to fuel the fire. Here we go.
Thank you for that. Yeah. Harry says,
prick. That's all I get back from you.
Harry Badger says Discord with a dedicated channel for an event and a general chat for Donkey Porn. There you go.
It's a good shout. Yeah. What's
John
that
Smith
channel for the Donkey Porn? Harry, send me a link.
John Smith put up in the group chat for MilSim and see how many people like to go. And then there's a split off chat for the event for people who want to go and booking so people all know what's going on in a group vid chat or 2 before the event. See, that's a good shout. But then you end up with like hundreds of WhatsApp groups, because that's the other thing. I don't know, like I've got WhatsApp groups that I never leave and I'm just spammed constantly because I'm always like, oh, I don't know why I don't leave them, to be fair.
Just do it. Just have a coal this evening. Make yourself a nice cup of tea, have a sit back and just archive. Just
because I look really antisocial, I just leave everybody.
Mike has left the room. Bastard.
Oh, yeah. Do you want to do another question?
Oh, no, it's your turn, isn't it?
It is my turn. I was just saying, should we do another question?
Oh, yeah, sorry, if you want to, yeah.
Right, so here's the question. Fingers on keyboards. Or phones or whatever. What minty product is the source of a long-running joke on the episode? That's what minty product is the source of a long-running joke on the series. Series even, not episode.
Whoa.
Oh, look, David's in there.
Look at it. Swish.
This is quite funny.
You know what? I'm actually shocked that Rage answered that question.
Rage was second. I'm sorry, Rage.
Oh, mate.
So there you go.
Well done, David. Congratulations. David.
So I do love. Can I just say though, this is awesome because I've literally just got David says swish, Rage says swish, Les says swish, Fresh Meat says swish, Kieran says swish, Rage just then goes, I hate you.
Which secretly means love.
Oh, genuinely.
That's what I do with my kids. No means yes. So hate means, when it comes to rage, hate means love.
Yeah. Oh, there we go. There we go.
I like that blue
What's he
ribbon.
won? What's he won?
He has won the Conus Small 2 7x20, bloody hell, 17x30 zoom monocular. There we go, mate. That is on its way to you. Actually, I'll keep hold of it. Give it to you, Legion. Bosh. Nicely done,
guys.
sir. Pleasure. Thank you for answering the question so promptly. Off the block.
Sorry,
there.
Rage. I couldn't resist. The original question was going to be the long time running joke with Rage. But I thought I'd take you out of it. Oh, dear. Rage says it bothers me that I can't swear on YouTube.
It bothers me. I can't swear on YouTube.
Oh.
No,
Sorry,
well done,
Andrew. There's no double guessing, I promise you. It's literally just as it goes, it comes in. So
we say what we see. We say what we see. Catchphrase, man. Catchphrase. All good, all good.
Apparently, James and his missus both immediately said swish.
Swish! Ah!
I am going to contact them and see if I can get us some sort of special discount.
I reckon Rage is just sitting at home like this iron bar and just went, swish.
Oh, blimey. You are a pair of see you next Tuesdays.
Oh, thank you.
What's a sunt?
What is a sunt?
What a sint? C-S-S-Y-N-T.
It's
Sint. It's quite close to swish there.
Yeah. Oh.
Ooh, sorry, Rage. I'm sorry.
Them be fighting words.
Yeah. Oh, blimey. Right. Let's throw some more questions in. Who's got some more questions? Chuck us anything. Let's go.
Well, a lot of the chat's been taken up by Swish at the minute.
Yeah, I know. You got anything you want to discuss, Lance?
Oh, not that would get us thrown off the air, no.
Okay. Fair enough.
Actually, what was I going to say to you actually now? Oh, next week's show.
Yes. Yeah, we can cover that quickly. Please
talk about that.
Throw some questions at us, though, because we can't discuss next week's show for the next 20 minutes.
Remember, I'm considerably bigger than you, Mike.
Oh, Rage.
Oh,
I'm going to angry.
I don't know how to take that, though.
You might, but I've got a big head with a tiny hat.
Yeah, you can't hurt me. I've got a little hat on.
Oh, next week's show. What are we covering next week?
Oh, yeah, next week. So we are covering kit preparations in relation to doing urban and the sort of woodland forest event sort of thing. So the differences in the kit you might potentially have to take, different preparations you have to carry out leading up to the event, and obviously whilst you're on site, so things you can encounter and that. And so, yeah, sort of like you preparedness really for an urban game, i.e. sort of like a Longmoor based urban environment with buildings and something other, compared to being out sort of like in the trees in a wood block, and also the bits and bobs that that coincide with it. So yeah, that's what we're sort of covering next week. So looking forward to that. Talking a bit more kit stuff. I've missed that recently. A bit more kit.
Yeah, we've got some more. What do we call them? Skills and drills. More skills and drills episodes planned.
Yes, we have.
Get our asses in gear and organise those. So there'll be more of those. We're going to have some more interviews and bits and pieces as well. So
all in the pipeline. So it's all exciting stuff.
So we've got some questions. Andy says, "What's the one bit of kit that you couldn't live without? Not a riff."
Ooh, one bit of kit I couldn't live without. Not a riff.
I'm going to say my whoopee.
Yeah. Do you know what? I'm going to say my softy jacket.
Yeah.
That's nice. Yeah. My old holy softy that's been repaired with sniper tape.
Yeah.
And the zip doesn't do up all the way. It does up to there, and two of the teeth are missing. So if I zip it up to that point, it goes pop and just falls open again. So I've actually sniper taped the zip as well to stop me going past a certain point. Yeah. That's it.
Your comms pouch is fresh meat, just pointing
out. That comms pouch is also very good, but you know, it won't keep me warm, will it? Do you know what I mean?
No.
So
I must say that the whoopee is just that little bit of comfort. It's like having a little blanket. Well, it is literally a little blanket that you can just cover yourself up, and you're just like, oh, yeah, I'm nice and toasty now.
Ooh.
Yeah.
That's sort of the same for me with my softy. Just chuck it on in the morning. It's like, oh, this is nice. This is nice and old and stinky. Let's put this on. Lovely. I feel good now.
David says, how do you minimize your stove and mess kit, etc.? I always find it's really bulky.
I tend to normally use my jet boil, and I find that I obviously condense. You can put the little tip from Fresh Meat on this one. So your little gas can that you get, which goes inside your jet boil cup, get an old sock and put it in that. And it stops the metal scratching the inside of your cup and sort of ruining it and making it rust and stuff. So that's a little tip there from Fresh Meat, Podge56 on Instagram. He told me about that one, so I've copied him and done that. So mine's always condensed into sort of like a utility pouch sort of size. Obviously, apart from your rations, which would be in like a little jiffy bag in your Bergen or in another pouch. But yeah, I don't really struggle too much with my cook set. The Challenger one's even better. If you've got, or the Crusader cup, sorry, you get the big Crusader cup with the big metal handles, fold out handles, and that's just a little solid fuel block burner. That condenses down nice and small. You know, sort of like 58 pattern water bottle size, not canteen.
That could be a canteen as well.
No,
depends where you are. I find the mess tins. So I generally tend to use mess tins with a little gas stove, and then the small, I don't know what size they are, the little small gas canister ones. Sort of all compacts into that, and then literally it's just, you know, cooking admin of making sure that sort of you don't just forget stuff, and you sort of make sure you take things out and put them in a nice place. That's got like a little washcloth in there as well, so I kind of lay that out as a little table area. So I lay all my stuff out on there, and then I've kind of build that. So I have like a little, you know, you've got to do things properly, don't we? All la-di-da. I must profess that I am quite keen to get myself a jet boil, because I would like to see the comparisons between the two. Because I know the jet boil is much more kind of confined. But that being said, I do sort of wonder whether the mess tins, maybe you get more in. I don't know, because I mean it's a bigger thing. But
I don't know. Yeah. So the volume of water compared to a mess tin, I'm not sure. I mean, I
don't mean volume. I mean just in terms of like storage of stuff in there.
I see.
Because obviously the mess tins are like a bigger rectangular box.
Yeah, I mean, I'm guessing you'll probably be able to store things easier in a mess tin because it's square-ish and flat, and you can sort of like. Whereas obviously the jet boil, it's you know what I mean. So you've got to try and slot vertically upright, blah blah blah. You know, but I'll get my I'll get a can of gas in there, not the massive ones, you know, sort of like that sort of size, whatever that sort of size is, you know, the regular standard small ones in there inside a sock, stop it scratching up. I usually put like a little brew kit in there, then with the gas regulator. Bottom of the jet ball goes in there as well inside the cup. Then you get a rubber lid on the top, and that's it. So that's like a cook set there. Obviously, there's no water in there as well. You'd have to obviously have that separate. But like your general cook set, everything you need, you could put your spork in there and a couple of little bits and bobs to keep you going. But yeah, no, they're good bits of kit. I must admit, they are good bits of kit. But then it's like cook set's a cook set. It's just like David said. Then like he finds his one quite bulky. Maybe have a look at something else. Maybe have a look at a different pot. If you've got a mess tin there, that's when you put a ration pack in it, it's literally swimming about. You don't need to have. I mean, do you waste a lot of the water once you've cooked your meal and you've made yourself a little hot drink? Is there any water left, or is it just like, oh, you can sling that? Because that to me sort of says, oh, maybe that vessel that you're using for cooking is a little bit too big. Maybe you could get a smaller pot, something like that. That'll bring the size down, maybe something like that.
Good shot. Rage says, how did you get on with the D-Bell?
I haven't tried it yet, mate. I have not tried it yet, buddy. I will do once I get out. I've been doing a lot of overtime weekends, so I haven't had a chance to get out, and I'm busy this weekend as well. So probably try and get out maybe one day next week in the evening. Go on a dog walk. I'll take the old monocular out of me and the D-Bell and have a little look about in the woods, see what I think. And I'll let you know, mate. But I've not tried it yet, so I can't comment. But unfortunately, not had a chance to.
Fresh Meat says, did you guys like our little barrage we posted? I thought it was brilliant.
Yes, and I wanted to mention that. Well remembered, Wayne. Yeah, nice one. Yeah, that was great. That was at the weekend event.
Yeah, I'll post some links up to that on the Instagram and Facebook as well. Because Fresh Meat and these guys basically had, I think it was like four mortars, something like that.
I think it was three. Yeah, it was Les, Terry, and I think Danny manning them all three of them. I think it was. Or was it Dale, Terry, and then Dale, Terry, and Les and Danny on the last one. I think nearest Wayne. Yeah, it's good. It's good. Good.
I couldn't even identify them all. So.
I can ID them from a mile away, mate. That motley crew.
Yeah, but no, we'll have to get out with ours as well. So,
yeah, definitely.
We can have like a 5-6 mortar barrage. That'd be pretty cool.
Yeah, no, it was good. It was good. It was really well put together, actually. Good comms as well, Wayne. Solid, mate. Yeah, it was nice to hear. Yeah, it's very well presented.
James McNary, what's your favourite MRE main meal?
Ooh, I like this question.
Mine's chili. I know. So it's not the proper MRE one, but mine.
Are you
It's
the
like the
Wayfarers millets one?
no, it's not Wayfarers. Mine is like Expedition food or like BE Expedition or something like that. It's so
okay.
good.
Is that the one that's got like the red and yellowy sort of mountain with the Expedition something over in the front? Yeah, I'm the
Something
same as
like
you.
that. I'll just find a picture.
So my ones, MRE or British ration or NATO ration, is the Indonesian spiced pork with rice. Delish, love that, amazing. And for my sort of non-rationy sort of camping meal, but you can get in millets, is the chicken tikka and rice. And that's a Wayfarers one. That's the green and black packets. Oh mate, yeah, Wayfarer chicken tikka and rice.
Would you eat them for breakfast?
I'd eat them all fucking day if I could.
Yeah. No, that's fine. That's fine. That to me is what makes
whether my guts would enjoy that or not. I don't know.
Yeah. But that to me is what makes a good I say MRE, but it's what makes a good little bit of food.
It's a ball in the bag meal sort of thing.
Doesn't matter if it's cold necessarily or hot or what time of day it is. You can be a little bit happy from eating it. So
yeah, defo, man, defo. But the Indonesian spiced pork and rice from the British Rat Packs is fucking nuts, with a bit of hot doggity dog sauce on top of it, just to really blow your arsehole out.
So I've been getting mine from this website, which is Adventure Nutrition.
Oh, okay. They do a lot of freeze-dried stuff, don't they?
Yeah, you can do. So you've got freeze-dried meals, wet meals, bits and pieces like that. But no, I quite like this beefsteak chili.
See, I'm not a fan of chili. I'm not a fan of chili in general, though. Like sort of like home cooking.
Well,
chili.
probably, to be fair, if that's the case, then you're probably not going to enjoy it.
Like, it's just one of them. You know, it's just one of the meals. I'm just sort of like, don't really. I mean, like spag bowl. I love it. Everyone loves a bit of spag bowl, don't they? But chili for me is just nah. It's not my bag, man. It's just not my bag.
Fair enough. Fair enough. It's fine. Don't worry, Lance. It's no problem.
I'm sorry.
Andrew Taylor, are you planning?
Am I planning? Yeah, I'm always planning.
Are you planning on going further around the UK?
Love to, mate. Yeah, I would love to go. I'd love to go up north and to some events. And obviously, where James and Aaron were, the MilSim in a Bag guys, love to get out to some of the sites that they were telling us about. That'd be fantastic. Wales, love to get down to there and do an event. I was invited to one, actually, the Frozen Conflicts one, which obviously, unfortunately, I can't attend because I'm away on a family camping trip. That which is in the Welsh Valley somewhere, which would have been good and quite a challenge. I think it was towards the end of October, I think the event was. I think it was a private event, so I was gutted I can't attend that. But obviously, at the same time, it's a family camping trip, so I'm still excited for that one as well. But yeah, no, I'd certainly love to get out a bit further afield and try some new sites and that out, which would be good. What about yourself, Mike?
I'd just love to get out and just try some more stuff, really. No, as in, I like new sites and new challenges, I guess. Like, I love Longmoor, but I know the map of Longmoor. Longmoor for me is more about the gameplay at that point rather than, oh, wow, it's Longmoor, if that makes sense. Like, I love it, absolutely love it, but it's less about the location at that point.
It's less now, more about
Yeah, because you can have a really naff game at Longmoor and it can kind of tarnish your opinion of it slightly. So I just like a good game at Longmoor. But I like different sites. Obviously, we did the Tuddenham one at Octo with Octo, and that was good. That was good to kind of see a new site and kind of meet new people as well, because different sites attract different players.
100% that.
It's just.
It's like that one. I did the territory one up at Gunman's site at Eversley, the Alpha site or Bravo site. I can't remember which one it is. I'm terrible with remembering stuff.
Alpha, I remember Alpha that. I wasn't even there.
Good man. And that was wicked. You know what I mean? It's a new company to deal with. New organisers. It was fantastic. Really good. Yeah, new site and some of the site itself. Some of the locations on the maps that were there were. Like the Viking village and the little country, like the little western sort of shanty town sort of thing with a saloon, and that was crazy. It was quality. Yeah, loved it. Really good.
So, Octo8 said, if you could MilSim any era in history, what would you choose?
Well, go on, Mike. You go first.
I wouldn't choose anything that relies on me to stand in front of someone that just shoots me point blank. Just ruling out anything from Napoleonic era back. I'm not doing any of that. So I think Wild West would be quite cool.
Do you know what? I was sort of thinking that myself. That
like
some sort of underlever like every time and like the 6
Yeah.
shooters and stuff. That could be quite cool. I just don't know if I could
probably
bring
fairly
myself to run
racially
around dressed as a
insensitive if you got a load of Indians.
cowboys. We could be cowboys against cowboys.
Red Indians,
We
just to
could,
clarify.
you know, it doesn't have to be Indians. It could be cowboys and cowboys. You know, like Brokeback Mountain.
No, that's what I mean. So I mean, it
really?
could be racially insensitive, but
Okay.
you could do like bank robberies and stuff like that, and outlaws and things.
Oh,
like
that would be cool.
quite
I'll tell you what would be cool. Would be saying about bank robbers. Would be like the like not so much Bugsy Malone with the old custard guns, but you know that sort of era, sort of like the gangsters, like the you know what I mean, like the old fedora hats on and the long trench coat with a Tommy gun inside a filing case, sort of all that sort of jazz. That'd be quite good. Yeah, you know that'd be quite cool.
I'd love to do another Falklands one again. To be fair.
Yeah, I enjoyed that one. That was really hard going as well.
Yeah,
which I liked about that the most.
I mean, not even just for the event. Like, I really liked. I knew about the Falklands, but I tried to kind of gen up a little bit more on it because I was going to an event that had, to be fair, some more cultural significance.
Yeah.
You know?
I mean, by no means was it reenactment where
No.
the kit was 100% accurate, the weapons were 100% accurate, the storyline with this and the other. You know, but no way, shape, or form. People don't think that it was a reenactment we do. It was loosely based around, you know, the landing at the Falklands and then how they took key elements of the map, and that's sort of what we, you know, replicated throughout the event, throughout the weekend, and it was really good. It was really good fun. It was really hard to do, and obviously the time of the year didn't help because it was into November. You know, we had a lot of low-lying mist in the evenings, which sort of ruled out nods and stuff like that. But yeah, it was really cool. You know, thoroughly enjoyed it.
Yeah. Fresh meat. Sorry, I've just realised I've had all the questions which are further back, and I've just missed a whole load of comments. Fresh meat says, "Come with us in December for Falklands." See, I would, but it's December, and I've got a young baby, and I have to be careful at the moment in terms of overbooking my time, unfortunately. Andy Luckett said, "Would you ever try like an Airsoft Waterloo style battle? That would be horrendous. It would literally just be standing in front of you, unless the FPS on every gun is like 10. Like."
I suppose the only thing is it's only one shot. Do you know what I mean? It's only literally one shot.
Yeah, but one shot, even at like 10 meters away, is still going to hurt, isn't it?
No LMGs, no drum mags, nothing like that. It's one.
It'd just be
round.
Me in the corner with some old school style Gatling gun that I'm going like that. Oh. So yeah, yeah. So Octo8 said American Civil War. Then, yeah. See, yeah, that'd be kind of cool. But again, it's just that lining up. I don't like the idea.
Yeah, red coats against the
yeah.
Like the
See, I love the
militia
uniforms and that for that. But I mean, that's another expense potentially as well with that sort of thing. Isn't it?
Michael attend just for all the pomp and ceremony going along with it.
I'll learn. Well, I am trying to learn to play the fife anyway, so we can march into battle under the fife and drums.
I'm yet to see this or even hear a note from him.
I can't make a noise on it yet. I've had it for 3 freaking years and I still don't know how to play it.
Just...
John Smith says, so this is going back to the going up north for the sites. Time it up right up north, and you can do 3 sites in a weekend. Not bad, yeah.
That sounds good.
So,
Paula Swales.
And then there's some other comments.
Go on, sorry, mate.
I was going to say there's some other comments about food and stuff, but I feel that's too far back now. I'm sorry.
I love food.
Yeah.
Food's a burst.
Paula Taylor says,
hang on, you missed one. Paula said a Prohibition era. That'd be quality. Bootleggers and stuff like that. Yeah, that'd be cool. Yeah, I like. I can see Octo's.
I can't be Billy the Kid. I don't think it's Billy the Kid.
No, Billy the Kid's Western, isn't it?
That's Western.
Young Guns, isn't it? William H. Bonney, isn't it? He's Billy the Kid.
Oh, yeah, Bonnie and Clyde. They can't be Bonnie, and this is Clyde. Don't know why I'm the woman in that scenario, but we'll go with it. There we go.
I want to know why you sound like Foghorn Leghorn.
Yeah, well,
go by the clock, sir.
Again, can't really do accents. See,
can't do MilSim, sir.
Andrew Taylor says, "Have you got a link, meet?" For the Falklands, MilSim. That's just the best sentence of the whole episode. You got a link, mate.
Is that nearly as good as them Milky Crocs or whatever it was?
Milky Crocs, yeah.
Milky Keymod or something.
Sherwood said, "Oh, hang on." Sherwood says trench warfare would be interesting.
Yeah, I mean, Christ. I mean, to be fair though, I mean, when they do War and Peace Revival, I mean, they dig that field up. I mean, there's trenches all over that, isn't there? So that could be a site. If it was purely just trenches, and there's like no man's land, and you've got a few rows of trenches, that could be quite interesting.
Yeah. The thing with trenches though is that you have to put, and this is me speaking as a drainage engineer, you have to put drainage in there. No, but I mean, how many trenches have you been, or how many sites have you been to where they've dug trenches and they are just wet in the bottom of them, and people are like just slopping around in mud unnecessarily? To be fair,
well, so you're in the middle of the battle. Whether the
no,
drainage,
I know,
whether there's poor drainage in the trenches is irrelevant at that point, isn't it?
No, I don't know. I mean, because there's ways and means that you can kind of get around.
I mean, you could trench and put a false floor in. Do you know what I mean? Or you could
some gravel.
You could gravel the bottom and then put some pallet in there or something. That would do it. They could have a soak away.
Yeah.
That would solve it. I love how we just
I'm not suggesting that it has to have. I'm not suggesting it has to have proper drainage and soakaways and stuff like that. But I mean,
take heed, all you around the world who are planning on digging a trench and playing airsoft in it. Gravel and pallet boards, man. So says we.
I just think I think a lot of trench systems would be better if you got more people into the trench systems. So you're fighting through the trench systems, whereas I normally see it as you kind of get the kind of maybe more adventurous 10% of whoever's playing going, right, I don't care about the mud, I'm in there. I mean, I've been in the trench systems before, like APOC's a really good example of that.
Yeah.
But a lot of players just won't get into it because they don't want to get muddy. They don't really want to get all kind of messed up.
I get that. It's personal preference, and if you don't mind getting your boots wetting up and you've done your wet and dry drills and you can get your feet dry, that's the main thing. Oh, yes.
Or even if you haven't and you just end up wet. But no.
Yeah. And it's tough shit.
Andy Luckett said Mike can be Napoleon Bonaparte. Thanks.
Have you still got your jacket from the wedding?
I do have my jacket.
There you go. Then you're halfway there.
Just stand there, like, just get the other hat, and I'll be like, oh yeah, sure.
No, usually they can nail it up Maleficent again.
Oh, that's got worse, isn't it? Anyway, Dominic Hawk says Peaky Blinders era. That'd be quite cool.
Yeah. I think there's definitely some sort of. I reckon the Octo or Gunman are gonna have to get hold of this because there's definitely a bootlegger, Peaky Blinder scenario, gangstery sort of thing we wanted to go on there.
Except you're gonna have all these gangsters running around with AKs and M4s.
Yeah, 1927, or what was it? Even earlier, actually, in some cases, just after the First World War, was it 1919 or whatever it was? Yeah, brand new M4.
Just like an M249. Like, I don't know how I found this.
Exactly.
Rage says the Omen conflict would be cool. I don't know too much about that, to be fair.
Oman.
That's more of an explanation as to why I don't know anything about it. Oman conflict. I'm going to have to look this up after the show.
Africa, isn't it? Africa. Oman. I think.
I genuinely don't know.
Yeah, that's one's lost to me a bit.
Rage. We'll do some research. We'll come back to that one.
Yeah, but Oman. No, that's not. That's Northern Ireland. Oh, no, it's not. It's Yemen and Oman. Sorry. Where am I thinking of?
I was going to say, I've just Googled Oman, and it's definitely not Northern Ireland. It's people with...
am I thinking of something else? It sounds a bit like it. Probably am. Again, it's me with names. You must know that by now.
Here we go. Rage says SAS Yemen. In Yemen and Oman.
Yes, that's the one. No, that's where because they've got the gun they've got the artillery cannon that Matey, the Fijian SAS trooper, he got the VC for it, defending a ridge line. There's only about him and like 25 other guys or something against about like 2,000 Yemeni fighters come at him. I think it's actually at the Omar. That's what I'm thinking of. Well, so thank you, Paul. That's Wales. That's it, mate. Where was I? It's at the hospital at Greenwich. The gun. You can see the gun. It's at the hospital. Oh, bloody hell. Is it a military academy at Greenwich? Something like that. But that gun's there. Yeah. It's like a little howitzer thing. And you can see it there, all the write-up and it on it. Yeah, it's very impressive. Yeah.
Oh, cool.
Bloody hell.
BrickTac Events is quite helpfully written almost an entire Wikipedia article. The Darfur Rebellion, also known as the Darfur War or the Omani Civil War, was waged from 1963 to 1976 in the province of Darfur against the Sultanate of Muscat. This is really hard to read. Muscat and Oman.
Cool. Yes, that's it. I'm going
to have to do some research on that one.
SAS heavily involved with that one. I think when I listen to an audio book, it's Chris Ryan's audio book, History of the SAS, and he goes into that in quite great detail, actually. They took a hilltop at night time, and it was a big palace. There was a huge, I think it was a huge compound palace type thing at the top of it. It's never been taken in all the years, all the hundreds of years or centuries that have been stood there. No army or foreign force had ever entered these the walls of this huge palace compound type thing. And yeah, we did. Woo! Come on, lads. So, yeah, it was good.
No, I didn't describe it as the Armani War, the Omani War.
Oh, the Armani. Yeah, we could have.
Yeah.
Sort of like an Armani
like the Gucci,
against the
like
Burberry,
Gucci,
against the Gucci's. That would be quite funny, wouldn't it? Just dripping in Burberry.
I've got my Burberry, see?
I've got Burberry, sir.
The problem in this is Octo. The problem in reality is that people don't want to buy the period kit for just one game, and as you say, turn up with them force. Exactly that.
Yeah, I know. It's a
hard
dream,
on that front.
It's a fantasy.
So. Should we do the last question? I know you've got to head off because you've got a work thing.
I've got a work meeting, unfortunately, tonight early. Yes, let's do the last question then. Go on, Mike.
Would you like to? Do the last question?
I would if you want to post it to me.
Oh, you would.
I haven't got it, have I?
Ow!
Ow! But I will reveal the prize. If that helps.
Yeah, you do that.
Okay.
Oh, I thought you were going to talk about it now, just as a quick reminder while I'm talking.
Oh, a quick reminder. Yeah, well, no, there's no point doing it now because everyone knows what the last prize is. It's the scope. But obviously, I'll take it out the the box though, so I can just hold it up.
Okay, there's some words. Use those.
Oh, so I've got to read it. Oh, God. Oh, right. Of course. Yeah. Sorry, I forgot that we'd done that one. Okay, so the final question for the evening is: can you name the reindeer from Father Christmas's special Airsoft Christmas story on the Christmas episode? Name the reindeer.
You need all 8.
All 8 reindeer for this one, boys and girls. We'll give you a little bit of time.
Genuinely, the number of viewers has just quite significantly dropped.
Is it really? Is it really? Because they've all got to watch it.
Oh, 5 people have just left.
You're looking for a Christmas story, the NoFos Christmas story.
Yeah.
And in the meantime, the gallery.
Sorry, I'm just going to dive back to one of the questions as well. Paulus Whale said, although I don't want to go full MilSim and get syphilis like Capon.
Yeah.
That's really taking the
Give me an ink and I'll just buy one. There it is.
And you're lucky it's just said blue ribbon. It's not blue ribbon.
I think that's twice he's answered blue ribbon now. I think he answered blue ribbon when you said about the minty tree or something. I was like, didn't know they did a mint version of that.
No, I think possibly.
Aaron,
Danny's
Dave,
just
Dick,
given
Bob,
it a
and
go
Jack.
and said Aaron, Dave, Dick, Bob, and Jack.
No. Close, but no.
There's 8 of them as well, just to clarify.
Yeah. Close, but shit, Dan, that one.
Paulus Wales, what if no one answers this question? Well, this is the thing. It's open
Well, this
right
is
now.
it, because what will happen is I'll fucking keep it. Right? That's what will
there was
happen.
another question. We'll just wait while
Another question. Oh.
There were loads of questions. Loads of them just.
Oh,
came
question.
in
I
all
thought
the
you
same
meant another
time.
question for the giveaway. I was like, oh,
no, sorry.
Secret prize, have you? Because I ain't got another one here.
Yeah, no.
Is it one of your bloody hats?
Andy says cry reindeer. Not yet. That's possibly one of them.
No, that's what they are. They are cry reindeer, but the names.
Oh yeah, no, you're right.
Reindeer.
Sorry, yeah, I have got the answers written down in front of me. I didn't even bother to check. Is there a postal address to send my answer to? No. In short. Oh.
They're beavering away. I know they're beavering.
I know
away.
they're working hard. I'm
waiting for that one list to come up. Poof! There it is. Come on, lads! Don't let us down. Or ladies.
I'm still trying to find these questions. The problem with this bit of software is the fact I can't just mark stuff to go back to quickly.
Mungo, Jerry, Bob, Fred, Randy, Todger, Sausage.
Would you guys go to the
No,
US?
Barry, but I wish they were called that. Oh, hang on.
Oh, there we go. Andy Luckett.
Aries last rebel. Yeah, Andy.
Woohoo!
We have a winner.
Well done, Andy. You have
This
won.
is all yours, mate. There it is. The Conus Tactical. Beautiful. The AS34 2-6 times 28 scope.
There you go. Congratulations.
There we go. Congratulations and well done, everyone, for taking part and being bloody good sports.
Yeah.
So we'll get that boxed up, mate. Send us your email with an address, and we'll get this sent out to you, buddy. No problems at all. I shall get this all wrapped up.
As any birthdays do, it probably has to come to an end. So.
Oh, but we've come so far.
So yeah,
have you prepared the montage for the outro with all like some lovely photographs with some nice heartwarming music to it?
No, funnily enough, I haven't.
Right, if you're not, right, so.
I'll tell you what, this was genuinely one of the most prepared episodes that we've done in a little while.
It's good fun, isn't it?
And
it's so much better when you prepare stuff.
I know, we might actually have to take this seriously from now on. Now that we're a year old, well, 48. Is it episode 48? I think this is. So.
It's like kids, isn't it? There's only so much fucking about you can get away with until you get to a certain point.
Gareth says most birthdays end in tears.
Yeah. Or gin, then tears.
Yeah. But yeah, Andy, well done. Oh, sick. Thanks, guys. So yeah, for those that have won a prizes, please drop us a message because we've got no way of contacting you otherwise. But just send us a message, so you can do so at email. Tell you what, Lance, why don't you give it a go?
NoFos@hotmail.com. You've taken it away. That's terrible. No, that's NoFos@hotmail.com. Instagram is at November_Foxtrot_NoFo. Facebook is at November Foxtrot NoFo. YouTube is www.youtube.com/November Foxtrot.
Well done.
Boom.
I was going to see if you could remember it without it being on the screen.
No, there's no chance of that happening, mate. No, I don't even know my own name really half the time.
MilSim Potter says, "Is there a gluten-free version of the prize?"
I don't know what prize. Did he win something?
No,
gluten-free. I have no idea. Sorry.
No. Oh, right. So yeah, Andy says 100% roll on the next 2 years, or no, roll on 2 years.
Yeah,
that'd be pretty cool.
Mate.
So
thanks everybody. Yeah.
I might be able to grow some facial hair in the next year. We'll wait and see.
Yeah.
Who knows?
Yeah.
Anyway, thanks everyone for joining us. Obviously, we will be back next week. We're going to be doing our episode on urban versus woodland preps.
Yep.
What
cakes did you have? Oh, look, we've still got some questions. Couple of cakes. I had a Jamaican ginger cake slice, mate, which I've eaten in my little dish.
I've had that much of my cinnamon bun, but I'm going to go away and eat it afterwards.
Who reckons Mike should eat all of that now, between now and before the end of the show?
It's not happening. It's so dry. They're good. I really like them.
Just need to dip it in a pint of water.
Actually, no, genuinely, the cinnamon buns are amazing.
They are good. And the apple turnovers are quite good as well. Apple turnovers.
But they are a bit dry, and they're definitely not something to eat on a podcast. So,
just lip slapping. Good stuff. Yeah,
cool.
Thanks everyone. Like I said, Mike said earlier, we couldn't do this. We started doing it for a laugh. It was. You're right.
Genuinely choking a little bit. Sorry. Carry on.
Oh, well, you're getting all emotional. I was just finished. You okay?
Yeah. Well, Gareth said, "Do it." I was like, "Okay, I will." And then,
did you really eat it all?
No, I didn't eat it all. I just tried to eat it quickly, and it didn't work. Oh, blimey. Anyway, yes.
Sorry. So thanks everyone. We started doing this during the first lockdown as a way of sort of staying connected through not being able to go to airsoft sites and that, and it's sort of grown into this sort of cool community, really, isn't it, Mike? Do you know
It has.
Yeah, whatever.
I said maybe we won't reach 2 years.
Yeah, maybe not, mate. Yeah.
No, it's been good. I've really enjoyed doing it. We don't have a huge audience, but I don't care.
No.
We've got 100 subscribers on YouTube. That's all I cared about.
That's it, exactly.
And
we get regular guys each week. It's been fantastic. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's all good. Thanks, everybody.
Paul said, Paul as well, I was really enjoying the show. Listen to it on the way to work. Any thoughts of getting your internet sorted, Mike? I'm on it. I'm trying. I'm having a chat with Virgin later in the week.
Yeah, he's in discussions, yeah.
Yes. It's so expensive to get more internet. But anyway, cool. Right, we'll see you next week.
See you next week, everybody.
Excellent week, and we shall see you then. Ciao.
Ciao for now.
We couldn't leave you in suspense. We've got a secret prize. There's a secret prize at the end of the show.
So I'm eating a caramel bar.
Oh, well done. For the people that stayed on, 2 people get to win this prize. There's 2 prizes here. So literally, first 2 people to write swish in the chat get packets of swish sent to them. That's all you got to do. Just write swish in the chat. You're getting a packet of swish. And I mean like the box, not just like a
not
single
just like one packet of swish, because that would be a really shit gift. You get a fair few of these bad boys. Oh, look at that. Look at Easter egg at the end.
David, you can't have it because you've already won a prize.
Yeah, no, sod off, David. I'm so greedy.
Harry, you've already won a prize.
You've won a prize. I think Harry and David are the only ones here. Could well be them. Harry and Dave, you've won prizes again.
Maybe everybody else doesn't actually want it.
No. I think everybody else is as worried as I was about Swish, and you started peddling it on me.
Possibly.
David
says, but I love the Swish. Yeah, but you won a prize already. There's 7 people on the view at the moment, so literally the first 2 people to write Swish that aren't already prize winners.
That aren't Harry or Dave or prize winners.
But that being said, if no one says it in the next few minutes, they're getting it.
Yeah. Swish. All you got to write Swish. Put Swish in the chat, and that's it. I can then go to work.
Yeah.
No.
No. Oh, all right. David and Harry have won the Swish. You had long enough. There you go. Congratulations,
you wait now.
guys.
The 2 are coming in now. No. Give
them to the second places.
Well, there we go. That'll be fresh meat was first prize, wasn't it?
Oh, there we go. Thomas Constable, Swish. Thomas, send us an email. You can claim your Swish. No, don't worry, Thomas. You're not late. You've actually just won a prize. So there you go.
You've come on and within 30 seconds of being on the stream, you've won yourself a gift. So well done, mate. Congratulations. Yeah.
So drop us an email. Harry, you can have the other one because I'll give David some anyway when I see him next. There you go. Swish for everybody.
Swish for all. Just swish, 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 swish.
Cool. All right. Have an awesome week, gents.
And internet is amazing as ever.
Internet. And we'll see you all soon. See you
Cheers,
later.
guys.